Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, Brett? What's up, Mets fans? It's the Locked Up Sports Review of the QBC, the Queens Baseball Convention. We'll have some Mets news for you. We'll go over everything that happened last week real quick, and we will talk about yesterday's big-time Queens Baseball Convention. Our first, Brett, our first one. The first one we were there. We were welcomed with open arms by everybody. It was a good time. Thank you to Mark Healy and everybody who put it together. What's up, Brett? Did you have a good time yesterday at the Queens Baseball Convention?
Yeah, I think we were noticed in our
shirts. People love the shirts. They love the shirts.
Yeah.
The Stearns we trust, because it was just perfect enough. It was just sarcastic enough. And it was like
Stearns we trust.
But we still believe.
It was funny because it got a lot of people talking, so it got us to actually, really engage with a lot of the Mets fans.
I got my bracelet.
I got my bracelet. We got it. We had the bracelet, which I can't even remember what her name was, but she was there with. Listen, it was so cool because you got to meet guys like the guy who makes all the Mets songs, who's so awesome.
The OMG guy. He got a shirt. I gave him a shirt.
First guy, as soon as we walked in the door, he was like, "Guys, the shirts." We talked to him. We gave him a shirt. We gave a bunch of the shirts out. We gave out. There's some locked up loot that got picked up by some people. But honestly, really cool stuff. I picked up that Brett Baty ornament. We had all types of just really.
You stole the Todd Frazier thing, but they were putting them out there. And whatever happened to the Jeffries? Is that was just you never found out what happened? Why the guy came up and said you're the big winner and gave it to you?
Comes up to me and goes, "You're the lucky winner," and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm about to be like meet Terry Collins in the back, and we're gonna have a whole thing." And he goes, "Here you go, buddy, the lucky winner for the night," and he gives me a Greg Jeffries All-Star ballot from 90. I got it back here. 94, signed by Greg Jeffries.
Yeah, I did have in the back with Terry Collins because I walked in. I thought I was taking a shortcut to the ballroom area, and I walked in and I was like, "It's the green room." And Terry Collins is there, and I shake his hand, and I was like, I'm not supposed to be back here. Let me get out of here before. It's our first time. It's not our fifth time here where we can start, shifting into the green room and stuff. So. Good time, though.
Sometimes you just got to show up and see what happens.
And I appreciate them really catering it towards me for my first. They had the food was McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Pretty much.
Brett says they were made in the back. I think they ordered McDonald's.
Bob says they came right from McDonald's, but
I'm an expert, McDonald's expert. It was fantastic. I took a bite of it and I was like, I know this chicken nugget. What is that? It's McDonald's. It was McDonald's. It was McDonald's.
It was awesome. Let me tell you, it was good. And the fries were something else. That's the only, that was. If they were McDonald's fries that came with it, I'd agree about.
I was laughing because 2 nights before you told me that you read something about the food and they're gonna have better food, like they screwed the food up last year or something. And I was like, they went for a surefire thing, right? Tastes good. Yeah. People are gonna like it. Everybody eats it. Yeah. McDonald's. It's disgusting, but everybody likes it.
No, not this. No. It was.
I think it was smart. It's
whatever
smart
they were doing.
Smart move. It's unconventional.
But they had some good stuff. We had this one. Nice lady Teresa who makes some Mets paintings. So she goes out and she does watercolors. Bob got one too. Yeah, I forgot. Glad we actually. And she was so nice. And she makes some other ones that are full larger watercolor paintings, and it'll say what game it was at and what the score of the game was and all this other stuff. But really, this is the stuff. This is kind of like what I like when you go there. Not that generic, like anybody can go on Amazon and get your Mets thing, but you go directly to the Mets fans who are at the game making the stuff. You think I would ever go buy a Brett Baty Christmas ornament and a lady, and a nice lady to meet in the elevator.
Yeah, that's right, to go on the elevator.
On the way up, right? And she was so nice, and we find out what it's about, and and honestly, so I even hand that ornament to Baty, and Baty is like, "That's so cool." He's like, "That's awesome. I've never where did you get that?" And
she'd be like, "You're not getting one. You're not getting one."
I was like, I go right around the corner. I go, "It's last. It's sold out. It's one of a kind." I don't know. Sorry.
And to be honest, the prices of the if you're into I'm not into memorabilia stuff, but the prices of the memorabilia stuff was not outrageous. Good. Not outrageous.
No. It was one where you could go get a signed
Marte jersey. Marte for like $60.
No. 35, 45 for one. Like
it's cheaper than a jersey.
No, it was just right. And again, is it probably a replica? What doesn't matter? And you got it signed right there. It's probably a little more than what it costs. Like it's just a good deal.
Brett was a contestant in the Deal or No Deal, And he got
That
up
was
there,
solid.
and he's looking back at us like it's The Price is Right when they're looking back at the. I can't hear you. I can't hear. What do we take? One or two?
It
One or
was
two?
good.
And we're like,
It
I'm
was
like one. And then he came back. He got a Baty jersey that was like a replica jersey. He was upset about it the whole time. He's trying to say, listen. When they call this Jeffries thing, I need you to go up there. I picked the wrong box. I picked the wrong box.
They were okay. Let's get into that then. You know what we're giving the true review.
Could you pick the wrong
box? Mets make a deal. No, so the Mets, Mets
make a deal. That's what it was. Mets make a deal. Yeah.
And so it was one of those like you have to have the item. Like, oh, I have this item.
Yes.
And
to become a contestant.
You get to come up and compete. And again, they were just like, here, you can either have these cups and a mug, or you can have what's in the bag.
Brett had the Mets underwear.
Yeah.
Wearing it.
They were like, who's not wearing underwear? But we left because they were picking out of the audience. They clearly picked people who were like the regulars. They would be like, oh, who's got a purple Mets hat on?
Well, Brett won with the
one guy has a purple
Brett,
Mets
they go, who has the Mets bracelets? Charm bracelets. And Brett goes, me. And he goes up there.
And I go, me.
They were trying to get the girl. The girl makes them.
Because there's this really nice lady. She makes these awesome bracelets. She's giving
sweetheart,
them out to the players. She's known very well by all the Mets fans.
Gave one to me for my daughter, who's still wearing it.
My buddy Mike, and everybody at the table. And she brought over a bunch of people to talk to us. She was sitting at one of the tables right in front of. Really, really nice lady. But
and
so
Brett pushed her over and was like, I got one.
I didn't care at all. And I was like, I got it. And the guy, I didn't even realize it was a setup the whole time of like who they like.
Because the very next contestant after you was who's got six or more.
You know what I realized later, Bob, is they knew what were in the bags, and they were like, give them the two crappiest things. They were like, what do we got?
And that pissed you off. Like, look at this. Baty, he's got a free Baty jersey. Free the third jersey, the City Connect jerseys.
Look on my shoulder right there. It's signed by Baty.
Where? Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you got him to sign it? And then Brett went up to each autograph table with 9 tickets. He was like, I'm gonna need all this stuff signed.
Oh we did. We did have an extra ticket. We got it was good. We got the poster. Was nice.
The poster's nice. I like the poster. Signed. I like the poster.
So we got the poster. Honestly, so let's start right from the top. Like so we had what? Little Jesse Orosco panel?
Jesse Orosco. Listen. Love Jesse Orosco. 86 Mets, love it. He doesn't belong up there. He's not well. And I hate to say it, Jesse Orosco is not well. He's suffering. He couldn't remember anything. He wouldn't answer questions. There'd be times where he's mumbling the answers. At the end, the lady asked him, who's your favorite current left-handed pitcher? Dead silence. They got down to, can you name a baseball player? And he goes, I'm a little lost right now. Clearly, lost a little bit on his fastball.
Do you know what it is? In an environment like that, you're looking for someone who can interact with the fans and tell those detailed stories of the times they were there, and give some insight into possibly what's going on with today's team. And it seems like he lives an active lifestyle. He plays golf every day, does all that, but that's very different than having full panel discussions with people, interacting with fans, and having to be quick.
And fans are going to come with detailed questions like, do you remember March 15th, 1987?
And part of that was on the
it's not on QBC because QBC doesn't know. It's on his people. Jesse Orosco's family and his people that sent him up there.
It's the interviewer, though. Once you realize that you have to be even simpler in your questions, and they did. Let me tell you, he's a
pro. For people who don't know, he's the guy Roger, whatever his name is, from New York One.
And it was very difficult on him, and you can see he very much pushed and got those questions and answered it in a way that helped Jesse along.
Well, when he saw the blank look on his face, he probably was like, "Okay, well, what about this?"
I know, but then the fans would go out and you got to throw softballs. Like you can't.
I threw him a softball.
You threw a good one. Now just go for it, Bob. Just go out and you can. And Bob will at some point will clip and show you what he said.
Yeah, I asked him. I said, "Hey, listen, we need a reliever this year. Phillip Rivers coming back. What do you think about that? Can you give us a couple games this year in the back of the bullpen?" Yeah, and he goes, "I'm ready. I'm ready." That was his answer.
Exactly. He doesn't have to go out and think deep into. Wait a minute. Who's a current guy? Who's a this? What year was that? Like
yeah.
And it's very difficult. You can just
sad.
affirm in whatever way. He could have just nodded his head and said,
"Yeah,
cool." Like
I'm ready." That's what was his answer.
Good job.
His answer to my question was, "I'm ready."
and I was nervous because Bob did not give us a heads up at all about what he was going to say. So I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I'm not going in there with the June 15th, 1989.
No, right. I don't know. Like,
come on, he don't remember that. He played 30 years, 25 years. He doesn't remember. He played half his games with the Mets. Not even the whole thing.
No, and nobody should, Bob. We look back. Okay, Bob. Me
no
and you
idea.
sitting at the high school table talking about whatever it was.
Well, you asked me about a game I played at Broadway.
No, the best week. Yes, exactly.
I don't remember.
We know some details. We know the details of
the Hail Mary catch that you made in the dark.
We know the heave. We even know what we're talking about right now.
I kicked field goals that were big, but yeah, you don't know. Well, you don't know.
Be like after you guys went out and celebrated. What did you guys do?
Yeah,
I have no clue. I don't know. Like, did we go to Friendly's, Bob? I don't think so.
Sat at candy and smoked some weed.
Steve Nanny's dad was honking his horn and flashing his lights, and was like, "Let's go. It's cold out." And
there's a Hail Mary that you were behind the pack and it got through and nobody saw it and you landed in your arms.
You know what? But you're asking questions that this isn't an interesting story. You know why? You don't want to hear this. So and so it's just tough. And so I do the one thing I asked for. It was great to see Jesse Orosco. He was really great.
Well, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad.
No, and he was able to answer some questions about what was going on and some other stuff. Like, it wasn't all bad, but there was some. He just had some hiccups. And
his family, can't. They shouldn't put him up there. Somebody's got to stop that. Who's not making money off the deal?
He's a signer. There's people who are panel people, and then there's signing people. And you if you're not a panel person, or maybe you were a certain time where it isn't there, you have to
don't
stop.
do the signatures after the panel either. Don't let everybody watch that. Don't let everybody watch that and then go sit in line and get an autograph from them.
Exactly. And then they say, "Is this what we have to look? You know, what's coming next?" And you look, and there's there's kind of it's a bunch of memes and there's a bunch of like videos about it and TikTok stuff, and it's Frankie Valli, one of the Four Tops. He's one of the Frankie Valli and the Four Tops. Like, he was one of the original, like, you know, Frank Sinatra style singers, and back then. But he was like, and people.
He's a crooner. He's a crooner.
His family is sending him out there last year, but he can't even. He's lip syncing, but he's not even alive, like, in his body.
And the family's doing that for the money. That's a shit. That's wrong.
That's not on him. And that's not on the QBC people, but I would say.
And Orosco wasn't that bad, but he was clearly wrong. Not good.
But when you want, like, you know, like Terry Collins, so engaging. You can just ask anything in the world. Has nothing to do with age. Has nothing to do with anything. It goes, you're picking a personality and a person who can do it or can't do it. And I can say, like, you just really, in that scenario, want to really interact with the person a lot more and hear about real insight.
Brett caught him wandering around the lobby like an hour after he signed, like by himself, just wandering around the memorabilia. Like, come on.
I think he was going to buy his own signed jersey.
He asked Brett what Brett's name was, and then he signed Brett Grasso.
No, he wrote your name.
Your name. Stop. All right. But then after that, they had our friend. Everybody on that panel was on the show except for.
I know. I love that. Baseball
Sal,
Night New York show.
Sal, great guy. I love Sal.
Licata. You had Laura. Laura was
Albanese.
We got the yep.
And who was the other one? Keith Raad.
Keith Raad. And the only one who won't answer our emails is Andy Martino.
He won't answer. I looked. I was gonna send him some yesterday because I gave him the card, and I was getting I talked to him, shook his hand, gave him his card. Hey, this, and I gave him my card. But I went to email him, and I have emailed him. I've tried to get in touch with him, and no response.
He's on everything, man. And let me tell you, of all the people, he's a reporter. He's not just he's
a journalist. He's like a journalist.
Yeah, he's a journalist. Yeah, right.
Video journalist.
Whereas.
About 21-0.
Like,
21-0.
Sal's a fan who does talk, and
21-0 Patriots.
Laura's like, Newsday and Real Deal. Like,
Laura's she's one of the best beat writers out there. She's big in the woman thing. So I love it. It is my favorite to follow, and her perspective is just so good on. She's the head of the baseball Women's Baseball Writers of America. She's the chapter president. I've seen. I watching all her stuff on, a lot on X or. One of my favorite interviews. You weren't here for it. One of my favorite interviews. It was the last day of the season 2 years ago. Yeah, that 9 to 5. The doubleheader really gets in the way sometimes. It's the worst. It's the worst. And then they had Brett Baty, who Brett Baty's good. Listen, he's a kid. Brett Baty's a kid, right? He's 20-something years old. His fiance's standing in the back of the room. It was funny only because he was clearly you had told me that he does these signing things a lot. He probably needs it to make some money. He hasn't had a big contract yet. He's still not making $1 million.
Got it. So he's the one who he actually is the only Met who got part of the round where there's a certain group of rookies based on how you play that end up winning this amount of money, and he got it, which is a couple million. So he got the extra check this year for like $2 million or whatever it is.
Planning a wedding, his fiance's going overboard with the wedding.
Recently engaged. His fiance's in the back of the room.
Real diamonds, not lab. Not lab diamonds on the ring, not lab.
Real diamonds.
Real diamonds.
You can't. No,
it's like 3 times the price, and it makes no sense to me because you can't tell the difference. No one can tell the difference. The only way you know it's a real diamond is a certificate.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It's the only.
Who's the only person who matters? Everybody else, or just your wife, right?
No, yeah, but you can get a certificate made, right?
No. You said everybody doesn't. Nobody cares. Nobody notices.
Yeah, but why do they care? But why do they care?
The only person in the entire world who
no, her friends too. Her friends probably care more than she does.
You're making a lifetime commitment, and that lab diamond is not going to last a lifetime.
Yes, it is. It's the exact same diamond. There's no difference. You can't tell the difference.
No.
They can't tell the difference.
Diamonds forever. They've only been making lab diamonds not for long enough. You couldn't say that for sure. They haven't been making them long enough.
No, but if I give you a lab diamond, if I give a scientist a lab diamond, a real diamond, he can't tell me.
50-50 chance. 1,000 years if it's still around. Ask me in 1,000 years if it's still around. Diamonds, I know will still be around. No, diamond. I know you don't, but we're not sure yet. You're not sure, but maybe I guess that means your wife's not going to.
I'll tell you what's not going to be around in 1,000 years. My wife. My wife's not going to be around in 1,000 years. I'm not going to be around in 1,000 years, so I don't care.
Bob, when you die,
they will last 50 years.
You will be hand in hand with Sarah. We're putting a little hole in each side of the casket.
That's the city's fault. That's the city's problem. She's getting the pension. They're going to kill her after a little bit, right?
Bob, if you go to as many Mets games as you went to last year, you know what?
So we met everybody with the like you said the OMG guy. I didn't know half these
guys were up there. Honestly, the podcast guys were because that's nice to see. It's a totally different perspective, which was nice. We had
a live podcast. Anthony Rivera came over, said hello.
Right.
Nice. I love it. He's a nice guy. He's just a nice guy.
Yeah,
see his father, bro? Spitting image.
I know when I saw his Instagram stuff after, which we got ours, they actually put up one of our reels on their Instagram for the QBC. They got a picture of me and my buddy Mike with him, but
they don't need Maury. They don't need Maury.
No.
You know the kid is his. But yeah, like spitting image of his father. And then who else was there? Then we saw that, and then we had. But what I was saying was Brett Baty is. It was funny because he's clearly gone to like a class or classes or has a coach or somebody who teaches him.
Yeah.
Because Brett will ask a question, and he goes, "What's your name?" And he goes,
every
"Brett."
Time it was so good.
And then he goes, "Brett, thank you for the question. That's an excellent question." And then he goes,
"He was good."
What was the question again? Because he's so focused on that. That's drilled into his head that he doesn't pay attention to the question.
You know what this is, though? And I'm not even joking. You know what this is?
He's coach. Yeah, public speaking.
They get paid. This is practice. Like, this is smaller style for a big deal. Like, listen, when you
200 people. There was 150 people in there, right?
They went through it. They went through it in the playoffs. Yeah, because all of a sudden it ramps up. If all of a sudden he takes off, and if this year he hits 35 home runs,
then he's doing bigger,
285 and 120 RBIs. Brett Baty's going to be a big deal the next year.
Yeah, but I think a lot of these. But then he doesn't do this, right? He doesn't do this.
He's not. No, but he wasn't sharp. Like he wasn't great.
No. He's still a kid, but he's a kid. He might not be a good public speaker. He might not like the public speak.
This was like and I could see his wife in the background. They clearly had been coaching part of it because she was. I was watching her like.
Oh, she's like, that's why she stood back there. That's why she stood where she stood.
It was
focus on me. Focus on me.
And it was.
That's what it was.
You could just see, and like she tries to. You could see one of the things are like try and be funny. Don't just answer the questions. Like try and be this. Like try and be, which is good. And he's so. And I can say like, I don't know. There's something about it where like. You get worried now. Is this guy going to be around?
You know what I mean? Like as a Mets fan. He's a 23-year-old kid from Texas who probably hates public speaking. Probably got up in front of the class to do his presentations and was shaking. It's just some people are like that. So now his wife's back there.
Of everything.
Yeah, but his wife's back there. But she's focused on. She's saying, "Focus on me. Focus on me when you need to re-kill her," because she's right at the back of the room, right in front of him.
Do you think the Mets are bringing PR training in? Because think about how nervous they must be with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't strike me as someone's going to say something
serious.
stupid.
No, but generally, like, is there an email where they're like, listen, guys, like, all of a sudden,
I bet they have a public.
So
yeah, I bet they have a coach somewhere.
So there you go. So my question. So I get up there, I grab the microphone, I go, forget it. And it was great because, first of all, because like you said, I had heard him say up and up and up again, what's your name? And he goes, what's your name? And I couldn't wait. And I laugh and I go, my name's also Brett. And everybody's like, ooh.
And then
like,
he copped that. He copped that on the answer. You gave him a trap question, and he copped that on the answer.
I tried, and I should have phrased it a different way to really lock him in.
Last 6 months is what you should have said. Last 6 months, teammates.
You're right. You're right. But it was if you could have any former Mets player back that you've played with back this season, who would it be and why? And
trap him, trying to trap him, and he got out of it, and he gave you a bad answer because of it.
So he didn't say anything for a second. So I actually went back in. I go, and I know you got some recent ones that just got added. And then he threw you
Luis Guillorme. He didn't even know Luis Guillorme.
No, he was a good. And I get it. He was fun. He thought he don't care about baseball. He's thinking about fun, and he was thinking and what I mean by the Mets PR training was it like.
And he wasn't hanging out with Alonso probably when he first came up, right? Like, Alonso was like, "You're not hanging out with me."
Let's not talk about Alonso. Let's talk about. It would be like the question could have been, if you could have Nimmo back, Diaz back, or Alonso back, which one would you want back?
Yes. Okay. Fair. That would been not a trap question, but not a bad question. And listen, I'm not a huge fan.
Who's better? Diaz and Nimmo.
Empty your pockets. What's
your name? I'm sorry. He's like. I'm sorry. What's your name again? I was like, mind your business.
That wasn't the question. Question was who do you answer the question.
Bob.
You think they do that in the classes? They give him like a hostile, like a jerk?
We should have. No, I should have talked to his wife and been like, you want me to train him?
Listen, you want.
I should have went to his wife and been like, listen, you want me to throw him a couple zingers?
You looking for a jerk? You looking for a jerk up there?
No. Give me something good that's going to piss him off. Like, give me something good.
Where were you last Friday? Because you weren't at Joe's house like you said you were.
Yeah.
Your wife, your fiance wants to know.
So you say you've been practicing yoga for an hour every... So you say you've been practicing yoga for an hour every day. That is a lie.
So you at the bar last night. How many drinks you have last night?
We should.
Now, I'm not a fan. Listen, kill me if you want. I'm not a fan of the girl who did the interview. I don't think she did a great job. I think you have to ask her the question, why? What do you think about? You're on the trade block. The news is you might be traded by the time this interview is over.
Yeah.
How do you not ask that question? And I know it's a convention and whatever. It's a fan fest. You gotta ask the question. You gotta ask.
What we're here for. I'm sorry, we're not here for fluff. And like, I'm not looking for hard hitting, crazy questions and digging deep into whatever.
But she's asking like, was your dad your coach on your football team? Like, come on, was the dress silver or gold?
No, it was rough, and it was then all of a sudden like again they were asking about the ring. Oh, and what'd you get? And did you do nice? And where'd you go get the ring? And you got engaged? And where'd you get engaged? And did you know? And I'm sorry, did you just spend a quarter of the time talking about where he got engaged
and where he played high school,
whatever? And
his father beating him when he comes home after he hit 2 home runs.
Didn't even get into like a follow-up question on Garrett Wilson, like which place did you party at and how hard did you party with Garrett?
Oh yeah, Garrett Wilson. That's right. Let's get Garrett Wilson in trouble here.
Some real stuff.
You're right.
He named some people that he's famous that he worked at.
That's okay. I didn't know that. He obviously went to a school with the crazy sports. Garrett Wilson's an NFL star.
But I just they were what
fluff.
happens.
They were fluff. It was fluff. She should have interviewed Orosco.
No, I think Orosco got very lucky for his interviewer.
Because he had a pro.
If you switch that one off, the whole tone of the day was going down.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point.
But I will say that like what I enjoyed the most out of it, like because the Baty stuff's good. It's also later in the day, and you have whatever. People are really looking forward to the signings. I like the panels in the middle. Those are the people that give you that real. Because the fact that, and you look back and you go, while we're there, the Mets all of a sudden acquire something which is not what we were hoping for.
Yeah, we got instant reaction with Polanco.
But get the instant reaction from the people and the crowd, and to watch what they thought or who they hated it. They hated it. Question of but people were like, half of them were like, who? And
moans and groans.
Seattle guy.
Moans and it's not who though, because he was a big time postie. He got the base hit in the 15th inning to send them to the ALCS.
But not everybody. I'm online waiting for Orosco, and I can tell you Orosco didn't know who it was. I can say that. No, but seriously, though, half the people are saying who, and then the other people are like, oh no, he's great, and
good, he's
you
good.
Look back and you find out. No, but it's not even that. It's why they went this direction.
Well, the biggest issue was the biggest issue people had with it was this is Pete's replacement. He's not Pete Alonso. He's not Pete Alonso, but he had 25 home runs last year. He got big time hits.
Yes.
The same people who were sitting there as he was crossing the plate, as he was getting home runs and getting the base hit in the fifth inning to win the ALDS. Those people were going, how come the Mets don't have anybody that gets hits like this?
Yes.
Well, we got him now.
Yes.
And those people were like, this signing sucks. He's not Pete Alonso. So I don't want to hear from
all
him.
the same people, Bob. Those are the same people who said we want change. And the moment change came, screamed and said,
I'm an Orioles fan. I'm an Orioles fan.
Scared.
They're all of a sudden Orioles fans.
All of those things.
Break.
But I look back and I go, no. He wasn't here replacing Alonso's numbers. He replaced Nimmo's numbers exactly. And if you look over and you actually pulled up Nimmo's stuff, he is actually ahead or equal in almost all of those categories when it comes to, WAR and his OPS and
also
the
other gripe was that he's only played one game in first base. He's not going to be the first baseman.
Of replacing, when it comes to numbers and everything else, he's replacing Nimmo's numbers, and honestly, he'd
be the DH for a little while too.
He will. There's a very good chance, and I truly believe they can say all they want. He's going to be the first baseman DH. I'm not saying he won't be playing first base. He's going, and they love this. I hate it. They like to move around the field and all this other stuff, but it's going to be. He's hopefully the DH, and we find that first baseman. I don't know who, and I don't know if it's going to be every day.
And you know what it is?
I think that,
no matter what, whoever they get. They can get screwball. I mean, the people the people who are fans, like at the QBC yesterday. Those people are gonna hate this team. They're gonna find reasons to hate it.
They don't even
They're not gonna
series
until they are a month into the season, couple months in, and first place. Until that happens, it'll happen eventually. They will not like this team. Will not embrace this team.
Tell them what Baty said to them when they brought up go for it. Yeah,
she brought up something about World Series. Like, no, what are your goals this year? He's like, well, goals to win a World Series always. And there's like a couple claps, and then Baty went, and this is another coach thing I think too. Right? He was like, let's go win a World Series. Let's hear it. And everyone's like, that's another coach thing to get the crowd into when you're losing them, get it back.
Right, because they were just all upset about. They're all so focused not on if we win the World Series, we're not even. That's not what we want.
Yeah, and he's talking about going out with Garrett Wilson.
Diaz here and Nimmo here. That's all we want is them here. We want those three guys here. It's not about winning a World Series, but having them here. Some people online are like, and I saw one guy online. They were like, and Sal was on Sal's show, and Sal's like, so he goes, you're lying. He goes, you're telling me you would rather have Alonso have good years, make the playoffs, not win a World Series, or would you rather Alonso gone and win the World Series? And the guy's like, I'd rather just have good teams. I'm canceling my. Like, well, what are you talking about? Yeah. No, those are the same guys who are going to pretend like none of this ever happened in July and August when they're winning. And
I was for. I never wanted Alonso.
No, I knew it. In Stearns we trust. Like we
didn't want to sign Alonso.
That guy was yelling at me in line yesterday. Oh yeah, in Stearns we trust, right? Ruined my life.
The shirts were the talk of the convention. The shirts were a good thing.
Me, Stearns. And I look over and I go, and the truth is, it brought so many more people up that said, to be honest with you, I'm really upset about Pete leaving, and I really love Nimmo, and I can't believe Diaz is gone. No, but they go, I think you're right. They go, I think you're right. And they go, I know that this is right, but they're just upset, Bob. Yeah. This is someone who did all the wrong things, and their girlfriend dumped them, and now they're not, like, they want him back, but they're just mad about losing.
Yeah. And you're a Mets fan. You're a Mets fan on the front of the jersey, not the back.
When the 10 walks through the door and she's buying your beautiful Christmas present.
Yeah. You're like, okay, who's that? So I said, people are going to be like, what about Pete Alonso? And I'll be like, never met her.
Just wait until the next one comes up. And don't forget, the reason you like Pete so much is because he was a homegrown guy and you wanted a homegrown guy.
But what
that's why doing right now is preparing to have a whole bunch of homegrown guys.
But that's why you need. That's why these guys get the coaching like Baty got to do stuff like yesterday, because these fans are so fickle. They don't want to hear it.
Yes.
They don't want to win without Pete Alonso. Oh, Pete Alonso's not here. I don't want to win. Some of them. You're a Mets fan. It's on the front of the jersey, not the back. It's on the front.
Oh, yeah. You're exactly right. And it's like they totally miss the point of, if you don't turn over, you're only gonna have one shot then at a World Series, and if you miss it, you're stuck and stagnant for another 5 years. They're trying to decide is who of these young guys is going to be the stud, who can we trade for active studs, and who can we? And let me tell you, they're not on a this year plan. They're looking for after the lockout. So let me tell you, I don't even know. They will make one big signing. I don't know what it'll be. But they're not even worried about this year or next year. They're worried about the year after.
And then when they had the State of the Mets panel, which was Anthony Rivera and Mark Healy and a couple of other like podcasters and stuff, I got booed on my question. I purposely because Mark, I've been needling Mark Healy a little bit.
You just love to dig.
On Twitter, because he's a big Nimmo guy, right? And I think Nimmo is overrated. Because I went up there and I was like, and I got on the mic and I was like, listen, I think you guys are ridiculous. I go, I think Nimmo's overrated. I go, it's not, 250 hitter, not a big loss. We'll be all right without him. He's easily replaceable. And Mark Healy goes, and I just gave it like a 2-minute dialogue, and he goes, is there a question there? And I was like, no. And I got booed by the crowd because I said Nimmo was overrated. But those are people we're talking about. 250 hitter, Nimmo's overrated.
Bob, that is not the reason you got that response from him. He is such a anti-Stearns guy right now.
Oh,
and that you walk up there with that T-shirt and there's not a single soul in that house who heard one other word, Bob. And it's like, you can say that whatever. We grew so you just went to the wrong guy. There's other people who believed in that. If you went up and you asked that question, and we asked to Sal and to Laura and to whatever, all those people know that.
Yeah, of course he is.
They're reasonable people. They understand.
No, but he's also
a baseball team.
He also got gifted yesterday by one of the guys a Nimmo jersey signed and stuff. He's a big Nimmo guy. And I get it. He's your favorite player. I get it.
A lot of people are.
But let's get grounded. He's a 250 hitter.
Everybody I know is like, we just lost the greatest guy in the team. Do you know what every single person said the same thing of what a great person he is. Such a great person.
And I'm sure he is.
Best person around, Bob. Do you know how good of a person he is? And you know what? None of them said
and
even
Laura said that. Even Laura was like, he's a fake, great, one of the greatest guys I've had in the interview.
Nobody comes out and the first thing they say isn't what a great baseball player he is anymore. They used to say that.
It's overrated.
They don't say it anymore. He's good. They don't say he's a great baseball player anymore. And it's because mediocre at work, Bob. You know this. If you just got to be really liked. Mediocre and really liked.
That is me. I'm mediocre at work, and I'm very liked.
That's what Mo did the last year or two. Mediocre, but we really like you. We're not getting rid of you. You got a solid contract. You got a no trade clause. You're never going anywhere. You're liked. That's all I need, right? I don't have to produce. I just have to be average and be liked.
We came on as usual, like 20 minutes late to do the NFL live pregame about an hour ago. I spent that 20 minutes arguing with somebody who goes, I can't believe it. They let Pete walk. He had such a better year than Soto, and they're giving Soto $50 million. And I was like, whoa. He did not have a better year than Soto. Soto's going to walk into the Hall of Fame, was one of the greatest hitters of all time. Pete Alonso's a very good player. Maybe borderline Hall of Famer when it's all said, and a very good player. You're talking about one of the greatest hitters of our generation in Soto. Stop with the Alonso's better.
If the Mets had pitching and Soto was like 1 or 2 home runs away from 40-40, and if they actually got those extra at-bats because they had better pitching. No. He was about to win the
Triple Crown
MVP.
Oh, yeah, he would have been. No, I don't know if he could win the MVP last year.
No, if he propelled the Mets in that run back to the playoffs, he ended up getting multiple first-place MVP votes, and he took third, I believe.
But those are like the guys who give David Wright an MVP, a Hall of Fame vote. David's not a Hall of Famer.
Because Bob, and we talked about this at the beginning of last year in June, right? We go, or in May at some point, and we go, he was batting so bad. And your response to me was, do you think he's going to hit 280 and do whatever? And you're like, he can't. He would have to hit whatever. I go, Bob, if he does, it's not going to look like he had a good season. It's going to look, but he's going to have one of the all-time second halves. And if you look, Soto had one of the all-time greatest second halves and one of the greatest seasons in Mets history. And that was the first year that we all consider a total dud.
But he's going to be like Beltran. Beltran, people don't realize how good Beltran was. The best center fielder in franchise history.
It's gonna be,
and they're like, he struck out.
We're going to get so much of him, you're never going to remember anything else, Bob. This whole year is never going to be remembered. Nimmo is going to be a distant memory. Alonso will be a distant memory.
Of course.
And the next, all right, and here we go.
He's Mike Piazza. He's Mike Piazza, but he's better.
Right. And that kind of brings up my next question, which is a question I asked to Terry Collins and to the random umpire that also comes with Terry Collins, Tommy Hallian, yeah. But Terry Collins is the guy, and that's all. And he was there with Andy Martino actually at the time. So I wanted to ask those two guys one thing, which I haven't heard much of, and I actually think I even asked it once on Twitter without much of a great response. And it's, if Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz go on to hit 500 home runs and save so many games and win a World Series for Diaz and all the other stuff, and they go to the Hall of Fame, what hat are they wearing?
I think both Mets, because what's he going to have 3 good years? He doesn't have another 7 good years, right? Alonso, let's say. He doesn't have it. It doesn't matter. Even if he has 4, let's say he has 4. How many did he play for the Mets? 5? And they're probably gonna, those ones are going to be better. And I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame either. I don't know if Alonso's going to the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to hit 500 home runs.
Hits 500 home runs.
Then he's in.
Ready?
He's in.
Wins a World Series with the Orioles in an amazing fashion.
MVP.
Big World Series. No, Bob. He can become a Hall of Famer just by postseason performances the next 4 years.
Of course, anybody can. Reggie Jackson, they retired. The Yankees retired Reggie Jackson. Somebody played for 4 years for them.
But I'm saying, like, is it guaranteed Mets and there's a turning point? And what's that turning point?
No, if he wins two titles, with the Orioles, he goes in as an Oriole.
Two titles.
Yes.
How about 1 title in 500 or 2 titles in 500?
2 titles in 500 because he's already hit half, right? He's hit half.
Alone doesn't get the 500.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't get in. He doesn't get in with 2 titles unless he's an MVP in one of them.
Seasons are the 2 World Series seasons, and the
postseasons
are immaculate.
If he doesn't win an MVP, which he's not, he would have to win a World Series MVP. If he wins one, if he doesn't hit 500 home runs.
Not to that level. Is that what you think Pete's going to do over there?
No, I think he probably. I mean, maybe they win. I don't know if they're gonna win a world. It's so random. You have no idea. They could get in the playoffs. They have a shot. Anybody has a shot, right?
No, but what's Pete gonna do? What's Pete gonna do there?
No, I think he's gonna be good for 3 years. 3 years, 40 home runs, and then you have to book it for 40 home runs. Book it for 120 RBIs for 2 more seasons guaranteed. Then in the 4th and 5th year, he has 15 to 20 home runs. 15 to 20 home runs. He's gonna be productive. It's not gonna be like
Phillip Rivers on the base paths.
No, if he looks like Phillip Rivers, he's a walk-in Hall of Famer. But I'm somebody like with a Hall of Fame. I'm somebody like, if you ask me, like, if you're like, is this guy a Hall of Famer? If I have to think about it, he's not a Hall of Famer. That's how I am. Like Ted Williams, Hall of Fame. Like, you don't have to think about it, right? Willie Mays. Yeah. Willie Mays, Hall of Fame? Of course, Willie Mays, Hall of Fame. Those are Hall of Famers.
Gun to your head. Jeff Kent. Gun to your head.
Yes.
There you go. Done. Nope, done. Too late. Nope, 3 seconds went by.
No, because I've thought about this before, and I think Jeff Kent did it for long enough.
You know why? We are just totally deluded and messed up in our thoughts on Jeff Kent as Mets fans. So we should not even get to count.
One of the betting hitting second basemen to ever play the game. Like,
I've never, and I don't know if he was credited for all 3 because I don't think one is an actual error, but I watched that man make 3 errors on 1 play. And it was a ground ball to Jeff Kent, booted it, all right? Picks it up, throws it past the first baseman, okay? First baseman or a right fielder runs it down. Now the guy's turning second. Jeff Kent straddles third base. Dead on perfect throw to Jeff Kent. Guy's dead to rights. Just drops it.
Is that like the Eagles on Monday night where they had the quarterback had a fumble and an interception all on the same play?
No, ball gets by him. Guy scrambling home. Jeff Kent throws it over the catcher's head.
Yeah. But that's like, what's his face with the Eagles last week? He had an interception and a turnover and a fumble in the same play.
That man went on to go on, and in a year with Barry Bonds, and that Barry Bonds had one of the all-time years, that you'd think, wait, Barry Bonds won the MVP? No. Jeff Kent won the MVP.
He also might be a steroid guy. You don't know.
Won the MVP. What? No. You can't just. You're an anti-who cares steroid guy, so you can't bring up steroids. Everybody accused.
No, I don't put the steroid guys in. I put no doubt. Barry Bonds is the Hall of Fame. Like, Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. Alex Rodriguez should be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, regardless. Put a little thing at the bottom. How do you have the Hall of Fame without Barry Bonds? He's hit more home runs than anybody.
Andy Pettitte.
No. Andy Pettitte, no.
There you go. There you go. All right.
No, he's not. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's borderline, but he's not a Hall of Famer. Andy Pettitte's not good enough.
Without steroids, no chance.
But
steroids, no chance.
Listen, here's the thing.
Saying?
It's not. I'm not knocking Andy Pettitte. If I say you're not a Hall of Famer, I'm not like, oh, he sucks.
No, but I agree. You want to keep it at a certain elite level. You do not want to water it down, and all of a sudden those floodgates open. You watch that in other sports, where every
the NFL's got to put people in because they get the Hall of Fame game every year.
And I really do, and that's why I look and you go, and then you have the other one, which is going to be like Carlos Beltran. They're like, oh,
Beltran, yes, hands down, Beltran.
No, he is. And now you have side things that aren't baseball that are keeping them out. And like I will say, steroids is baseball, but like him cheating after he was a baseball player as a coach is the thing avoiding him from being into that thing.
He's cheating every sport. Because these NFL players cheating and doing drugs their whole life, and they're in.
I saw an NFL Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame career right in front of my eyes. You can't take that away from me. Put him in. Exactly.
No, single steroid. Barry Bonds Hall of Famer. Barry Bonds Hall of Famer. Like Griffey. Like people like that go in. Andrew Jones. I say yes, but I almost want to say no because I'm not sure. But Andrew Jones.
Get an answer. No, I know, but just so I get an answer, Edwin Diaz. What happens with him?
Edwin Diaz probably does not go in. He played for too many teams. He was good on these. He was good on the Mariners, just as good as he was on the Mets. He was good. Edwin Diaz. It's a toss-up. He might not.
But he played 7 years for the Mets. Like
it might be the Mets. No, it might be the Mets.
It will be the most years he's had.
It might be the Mets.
Collins wouldn't give me an answer. He only focused on Pete because he's so pissed about Pete. He's a Pete guy. That's why.
Listen, we were talking.
They were actually talking about. They were talking about that same play for the entire panel with.
We were talking to Mickey Callaway about Edwin Diaz. That's how far back he goes, Brett.
No, I know, and that's why I wanted to see what his perspective on players he had were.
Good.
So it really was to be, Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, listen, I think Jeff Kent is a Hall of Famer in my book. But I'm a tough grader. You did, so it should be, right? Should be everybody.
No, but it really comes down to, I guess really what happens with Edwin Diaz and what happens with Alonso over the next couple of years. And
Alonso probably Mets. Mets or Orioles. Diaz could be anybody.
But is Alonso even going? And then like Diaz
no, probably not. Diaz probably going. I think Diaz might.
Diaz is like a.
It's hard with closers because there's only like 3 closers or 4 closers in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they're like top of the top, like Mariano Rivera and everybody else. But so what's next for the Mets? What do they do next? Are they going to? They're obviously listening. I think screwball. I thought Baty might get traded during the interview.
I don't actually, and I don't want anything to do with a loaner year, 1 year expiring contract.
It's a sign and trade and sign. No matter what, nobody's doing that for the 1 year.
If it is, I 100% am in for the sign and trade, but it's going to cost you everything, and they have a lot of pieces to fill. And I don't think once they make that trade where that
endless money, he's got endless money to deal with.
But no, it's not the money. It's not the money. You only have so many pieces. They also went from having the worst farm system in baseball 5 years ago to now having the #1 farm system in baseball.
That's what he wanted.
And they don't want to lose that. That will go away if you lose half of your prospects for one guy and you still have other holes to fill. And so I think they're going to be very stingy this year. I think they're very worried about a lockout next year. And I think it's going to be next year, Scooble without having to give up anybody and go for it. And I think it's going to be the year after. But I don't think it's Scooble. I think it's going to be like we talked about with the Padres. All of a sudden, Pivetta, Mason Miller, they're not Tatis, sadly, but pitching. The pitching's coming.
Oh my God. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Tatis.
I believe there's a deal coming for Jake Pivetta to be a starter and for Mason Miller to be one of the most dominant, hardest throwing closers and a guy who showed you last year who was acquired at the deadline and absolutely it was everything we needed last year and we didn't get. So I believe something like that's cooking. If not, maybe a Sandy Alcantara from Miami.
I like that too.
I know.
Miami's a pain in the ass.
I know more is coming. I don't know what else, but I think that you may get something from the Japanese guys, Murakami, Akamoto, who I believe, Tatsuya Mai. So I believe, and you only have a few days left for Murakami, and only a couple weeks left for the other two. So I believe it always goes down to like, if this piece falls, we got to hurry up over here. So I think they're waiting for those pieces to fall first in that deadline before they go become aggressive and to see what's left.
Oh, he caught it.
You know what I mentioned? Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger. He's already on the team as far as
we all know we can talk about it all day, but honestly, that's the piece where if that or Kyle Tucker arrives, and they make some kind of splash in the trade market, I think we'll all be feeling a lot better about this opening day roster.
Now, QBC, wrap up of the QBC. Do you recommend it? You going back next year? What's your Yelp rating of the QBC? Four stars, 4 to 5 stars. That's
4 stars. What is
good.
It? 4 out of 5.
4 to 5. It's a good rating. I'm not, like I told you, Hall of Famer. I'm same Yelp rating. I'm tough.
Right on. 100%. No. I agree. I think it's 4 out of 5.
Not their fault with Orosco. Not their fault with Orosco. That's his family and his people's fault.
No. I like the way it's set up. I feel like they didn't just over book it, and especially even with vendors, sometimes it can feel like you're
selling.
Just
You're not everything's in your face, trying to sell stuff. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, stuff. It was good like that.
Some good stuff. I think I like who they had there. I like that they have a local guy. I like the panels. I like the whole setup. Listen, man.
I don't like the 3-inning girl, but that's okay.
It's really for us. It's great because we network, we talk with guys, and it's nice to have that perspective and meet some of the media people.
And we got some cool stuff. We got the bracelets. We got the keychains.
We have all these guests, and we think we're there, and we talk to them. But no, you go, wait, no, it was all on Zoom or whatever it was, and you go, or it was over over this. So it's nice to meet and in network flow that stuff.
All right, so thank you to Mark Healy, everybody that run the QBC. We had a blast. We can't wait to go next year. We're in the club now. We would like to be fully inducted into the club if possible. I don't know if there's an induction.
Everybody, the OMG sign.
Do we get a plaque?
I'm trying to figure out who it
Simpson,
was making the ornaments. Brian Kong was really nice, great. He liked everything I was saying about all his stuff. It was really he was a nice guy.
That's it. QBC. We'll see you next year. We'll see you at Citi Field coming up season. For Brett Grosso, I'm Bob Walters. Let's go watch some football. See ya.